Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Christian Nostalgic Podcast. This is Lee.
And I'm Nora. Thanks for joining us for today's episode. So,
Let's
let's
get
get
started.
started.
Welcome back to the Christian Nostalgic Podcast. This is Lee.
This is Nora.
We're so glad to have you with us today. And today we are going over episode 2 of the VeggieTales. They are not numbered per se,
We're
but
we're going in chronological order
by year.
by year when they were released.
Exactly.
So,
So today is a tough one. We got God wants me to forgive them. So I'm guessing that's how they typed it up.
yeah, I
So
mean, this was 94.
94 and
94.
it
So,
shows.
yes,
94 and it
it
shows.
does
If
show
you
this
if
one.
if
Yes.
you caught on late to VeggieTales, this one would question your whole fan base if this was the first one you watched.
I have to
It
agree.
would be a rough start.
Yeah, this one is definitely I call this the original trilogy. You've
Yes.
got your Where's God When I'm Scared, God Wants Me to Forgive Them, and Are You My Neighbor? It's like the
Yes.
original three, and I would say this is the weakest one out of the trilogy.
Yes.
So, yeah, rewatching it with you, I was like, "Oh yeah, this definitely was one we did not watch a
No,
lot,
no, this one
nor
was
did I
deep.
rewatch
Yeah,
a lot." It
y-
was yeah.
I remember having this tape, but
Yes.
it was deep in the back of the
Yeah. And
shelf.
I didn't go to it. And
No.
rewatching it, I'm like, yeah, I know why.
Yeah, and it feels so much shorter
It
than
does,
the
doesn't it?
other ones.
This is the most
Which
less music
yes,
episode you're gonna find.
yes.
So
So
if
if
you weren't a
you
fan of music,
yeah. If you missed like the silly songs, if you missed
yeah,
just
yeah,
basic songs,
yeah, music pieces, yeah,
I mean even the song that was sung at the end was only done in like 2 or 3 verses, like they didn't do a
yes,
lot.
yes, it's a jingle.
It's a jingle.
It's a
Like you
jingle.
could
It's a
have
good
that.
written jingle. Once again, that's what makes VeggieTales so good. You can have
Yep.
this guy be the weak link out of three, and
Yes.
I still found strong moments that I'm just like, that's gonna catapult them into. They're
Yeah.
gonna learn from this one and go into where Are You My Neighbor, and from that just soar. I would
Exactly.
honestly say that right now. I
Yeah,
mean,
so
yeah.
but the Grapes of Wrath is the only other song, just so you know.
Even that's just more of a jingle too.
Even then it's more of a
It's more
jingle,
their
but
theme. It's their theme song
yeah, and we never hear it again. But
ever.
over the rolling hills you get the most boring one I think they have ever made, nor will they ever make again, because
Yes.
this one was strictly about forgiveness, and at
Yes.
least you don't know, they remind you constantly
It's like
throughout the whole thing, even when it's justified funny. So you have to apologize for
laughter.
laughter and comedic relief.
You really, really
So
do.
so
You get, yeah, they hammer it home. If you were like, let's just say if you have like a kid or you know someone that's like struggling with I can't forgive him, sit him in front of this like 5
yes.
times.
Yes.
Let it drill into him and say until you can memorize.
But there's injustice though that like they should, apologize for like the country accents
Yeah.
in the show.
Yes, that southern accent is, if you
Like
don't tell,
they're
I have one.
like they're picking on us,
Yes,
man.
man.
I mean,
They do
this
that a
is
lot in cartoons and media, and we just let
yeah,
it slide.
we're not dumb,
We're, we're not that ignorant.
okay?
We just,
But but
goodness.
we forgive you.
We,
Um but we're moving on.
actually, we don't hold anything against you.
But the Grapes of Wrath was wildly
Yes.
themed from a
Yes.
book
pulling from an old book.
Old book of 1939.
I had to look it up after rewatching this with you because Bob says, "Oh, that's a classic," and I went, "It
How old are
is."
you, Bob?
It is, and I had to look up the book, and I went, "Oh, it's a book."
Yeah.
Yeah, and they did a
So,
movie in 1940, which
which by the time you and I were old enough to watch this show, nobody cared.
nobody cared or
So,
knew.
unless if you were really into books at the time,
Yes,
which
yes,
libraries were still a thing when I was
yes,
growing up,
yeah,
but I digress.
yes.
So, yeah, so
It's an interesting
it goes
choice.
on. One of the few times that the story, the actors actually talk back to the narrator instead
Yes.
of them acting it out like they should.
Yes, yes, and with the narrator pretty much filling in, Larry would fill in the gaps
Yeah.
of even conversation between a couple of
They
characters.
did in a jovial way in the
Yes.
first one with Daniel,
Yeah, they did.
where it
That's right.
was,
They did. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, they
Yeah,
did it in
yeah.
the first one, but
Mhm.
this
Mhm.
one was a blatant rebellion against the theme itself, and scripture had to put him in his place. So,
Yes. Yes.
so you had to do the says 7 times says 70, forgive others,
Yes. Yes.
and
490.
yes, that is correct. So, we learn math, but due to that one of the grapes, they henceforth changed their name in some stranger's parking lot. They were officially renamed by a stranger to the grapes of math.
The grapes of math. Even though only one of the grapes out of four could do it. Do you
And
think that justifies a title?
I don't have to read the book to know that was a typo. That
Yes.
was not accurate to the book.
Well, if
Like,
you're with a group of friends
uh-huh.
and you out of four are the
Uh-huh.
only one that can cook, like
Yes.
cook really well, and then someone says, "Oh, well, then all of you are cooks."
Yeah.
I would actually be insulted because I would look around them and say, "Oh, they can't do it.
No.
Only I can cook. I'm sorry. I love you guys. You're my friends." And they would probably even say, "Oh, yeah, don't label us as cooks.
Yeah.
We can't do it. That's why we give it to her. That's why
Yeah.
we let her do it." Same with the math. You can't say, "Well, now we're the grapes of math. Only one of you can do math." Don't write on the back of her.
And then some really close-ups on,
That
he
old
wants that
tech.
screen time.
That old tech where you can tell they were still
It was like,
playing around
whoa.
with, yeah, but
So,
the origins of Paul Grape came from this.
and we
So,
confirm that he has no eyes. We have seen him up close.
yeah, you kept saying, "Why is he so close to the camera?"
So it was, but that was my only thing, and we've confirmed there's no eyes.
That was
So,
interesting with their angle with that. That was it. Once again, that you could tell they were playing around with things in this
yes.
episode. They were really wanting to see how they made trees, like you said, how to do maybe different expressions, how the character moves a little more than the episode prior.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
you
yeah,
definitely get that in this
yeah.
one.
And I mean, the episode just ends like a cutoff.
It really does.
It doesn't really have where the dad has him in for a meal. They don't
No!
really have
Very
much of a
Christian.
closure. It's like they ran out of time or budget or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
and it just was like, it was barely a concept.
It really was. They really just pulled um out like I said, from the Graves of Wrath, they literally just pulled out the pickup truck and four random characters. And like you said, they were just passing by because
Yes.
in the book and in the movie, they're on their way to California.
Gotcha.
And so literally on their way passing through on their road trip, they run into a stump and have this interaction, and I guess Junior learns to forgive random strangers on the side of the road.
Yes.
It's that.
While being extremely angry at
I
them.
mean, they're never going to see that kid again, nor would Junior probably ever see them again,
Yeah.
So it was interesting. They really wanted to drill home despite, Junior even, like we said before, being funny.
Yeah.
He has a moment where he trips and falls in the back of his toy pickup, little toy truck, rolls down the hill and flies into his sandbox. He's fine.
Yeah.
They laugh. And, Junior's like, I'm not forgiving them. And it's like, dude, chill.
Chill
If
out,
you just
man.
watched what I did, I mean, I know the parents were in the window. Probably,
Yeah.
they first watched to see if the kid was okay, and then they chuckled.
The mom
'Cause,
never came out,
I mean,
let's
if,
just
well,
say
the worst
that.
part is if you grew up with like Tom and Jerry,
Yeah.
Looney Tunes,
Yeah.
which we did, I always remember watching and rewatching that scene with you and just going, "What's the big deal?"
Yeah.
I'm gonna laugh
He's
too.
fine.
He's fine. I mean, that's like comedy gold
It
for a
is.
cartoon. For a cartoon. So for them to choose, I think it would have been better. As I know what they were trying to drill home for a little kid. Don't laugh at anyone's pain or suffering. That I agree with that. As a Christian, we don't. We don't
Yeah.
laugh if someone trips. We shouldn't find that amusing. If someone gets hurt, we shouldn't laugh. That's warped dark humor and twisted humor that unfortunately has taken a very strong forefront today. But I didn't think they needed such a funny slapstick, like I
Yeah.
said, Looney Tunes thing and then they laugh and then Junior has to learn to forgive and they have to say they're sorry about it.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know. So
it's
yeah, that ended.
but that's all it
That
is.
was an
I mean,
interesting satire.
the hero of the story, the dad. So I
Junior Asparagus' dad.
yeah, I mean, I think he's a pastor. There's no doubting that,
He does. He
even
does
though
embody Christianity the strongest.
yeah, even though he did come up with the worst rename for him.
He
Um
was trying to give them a re-identify themselves, I guess, for positivity, I
all
guess.
because it rhymed and it was the first thing that popped into his head.
I mean, yeah,
So, I mean, that is laughable.
that that is true.
Like the dad needed to
He
apologize
did.
for
He
that
needed to say he
name.
was sorry.
So,
Yeah,
but
that's the first half of the tape.
first half and no silly song.
Oh, I know. It was almost kind of like boo.
Well,
I mean, I had a sad moment when I was like, "Wait, where's the silly song?" Like having
yeah,
withdrawals. You're like,
yeah,
"No, I need my silly song." Oh, maybe that's another reason why I didn't watch this tape
yeah.
again. Because yeah, we didn't get a silly song. We got like a sketch,
It
an
was
info
great. Yeah.
commercial. We technically got a commercial
Yes.
for a Forgive-O-Matic.
Yes.
Yes, we spin the dial on the front of it and put how mad our sin is, and then poof.
Poof.
God forgives me of my sin. And if I order now for 19.95, I get a knife set.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was
Amazing.
that was amazing. And the cute part is, Junior walks up and says, "There's no such thing as a forgive-o-matic. You can just ask the Lord to do it. Doesn't cost you anything. You don't need nothing."
Which I feel like he ruins the skit though, because it's like we all know it's sort of a joke, and we all know it's kind of a thing, which kind of bugs me every time because like it won't be the last time that he steps in on someone and tells them,
Yeah.
how to live or
Yeah.
what to live. It's like, oh, Mr.
Yeah.
Saint.
Which, yeah, that's coming up.
So
That's
it's
coming up in
coming.
an
It's
episode. I
coming,
know which
but
one. I know which one you're hinting at. Yes,
but
yes,
but I'm saying even in this one, it's like, from the mouth of babes, I guess, is
yes.
what
They're
they're trying
trying. Yeah.
to emphasize. But it's hilarious up to that point. Then it just kind of falls off, and we're like, okay, let's get to the good part of this episode.
Yes.
And we get to Larry's Lagoon because this one is all about Larry, and Bob is involved too, but once again, you guessed it, another forgiving story.
On the
And what
nose.
better theme to pick than a 1960s show with Gilligan's Island?
Oh my goodness,
And
yes. This was a brilliant pick on their part. That slapstick humor is Gilligan, just, a little clumsy,
yeah,
wants to help, desires to help, but naturally ends up fumbling and bumbling, and it's the perfect choice for forgiveness because everyone on that island loves Gilligan, cares about Gilligan, and just forgives.
Yep.
They fuss at him and go, "Oh, Gilligan." I mean, what person doesn't finally just go, "You're why did you do that?" But they never wish harm or anything from because they care about him, and
No.
I think it was a great choice. I mean, everything from the
Yeah.
beginning narration of Bob and Larry is
Yeah.
literally. I encourage all of you that have not heard of Gilligan's Island. There's 3 wonderful seasons of this 1960s show, and it is fabulous. They even did a movie, um, and it is absolutely wonderful. It is innocent, it is funny, it is sweet, and it is just all about this group of people that literally just get stuck on an island, and it worked great with Bob and Larry because
Yeah.
they played it out so well. It fit the whole forgiveness. It almost made me sad watching it because they had to short it down and condense it down. I wish the whole episode was on that island.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
really, really
It's
do.
a shame they felt by not 94 they
Yes.
felt that the show had not
Mm.
had not had a lot of staying power.
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
course, we have MeTV now
We do have channels.
that brings
Yes.
some of those shows
Yeah, streaming.
back to
Yes.
life.
Yes.
But in the 90s, if it wasn't on local TV on reruns,
Yeah.
it was a deep cut for
It was.
94.
It
Like
was a deep cut. I
this was
I
their
just think
childhood.
and I think for me though, I think it would have gone over way better than Grapes of Wrath.
Yeah,
I think it would have been Gilligan's topic would have been more timeless, and it
yeah,
still is. It's still that strong, folks. Find the Larry's Lagoon. Watch just that,
yes.
and you don't need to see the whole rest of the thing.
That's the true gem of this particular episode with
It
episode
really
2.
is. It really
Um
is.
other than that, I would probably say it's the black sheep of the earlier generation
Yes, out of the
of
trilogy, I said it is the one that's not the
yeah,
strongest out of the 3. And the sad part is when you get to the Gilligans part. You're like, "There you are, Phil
yeah,
Vischer. There you are, Mike Naraki. There's the VeggieTales I know and love that pull from these IPs and stories and
yeah,
make it their own and put a Christian value or moral into it." And Gilligan, of course, great foundation for it because there is Christian there's definitely moral values of what they all deal with on that island together and working together and caring for one another. And because they're stranded, I mean, what else do you do?
yeah,
Um, and to work all that out and put Larry and Bob the tomato,
yeah,
and you get the professor with Art, and you get Archibald Asparagus in this one,
yeah,
and they
and
put everyone on the island that was critical or needed
yeah.
in costume of the
And it was,
characters.
yeah, I mean, it went a little dark though for VeggieTales though, because it was like there's very few people you'll find in this world where it's like for I've said I'm sorry and it's like, well, that's not good enough. Like
Yeah,
that's more of an adult forgiveness thing. Like
yeah, yeah,
that was breaking two sins, not
yeah.
forgiving and going to bed angry against someone right there.
That's true.
So
Cause
there
the
was
sea, yeah,
two
yeah.
so there was two sins done that night.
Yeah, they were trying to
Um
show for kids, what if someone really did you wrong, like, ripped a Pokemon card or something,
yeah.
or broke one of your Lego sets. You gotta think in that mindset of it
It
lingers a
lingers a few
couple of
days,
days.
even though you
Yeah.
say you forgive them, it may not be in the heart.
Yeah, or even
Um,
struggling with forgiving that person, even though if they did me or sibling, and I think that was what it was all about. And that's probably at the heart of where it came from is if someone really hurts you, can you forgive me? And like I said, Grapes of Wrath was the weakest link because
yeah,
Bob and Larry, what they actually went through, getting stranded,
yeah,
Larry not paying attention, crashing the boat,
yes.
stranding them on the island, that is a little hard pill to swallow for everyone at least everyone in the group would have been like, "We forgive you, but we're kind of annoyed at you."
Oh, yeah,
You know, we can forgive, but we can still be like, "I'm gonna hold the keys. I'm
Yeah,
driving
yeah.
right now.
So
But it to bring a little point right now is interesting is it's giving you those VeggieTales Jonah vibe. I know
yeah,
that's another topic and another time, but you have that disagreement, between Bob and Junior Asparagus' dad over the wrecked car,
yeah.
and that struggling to forgive, and then they bring in mercy and compassion,
Yeah, mercy and compassion is a
which
deeper thing.
that is. So
And
this one was just forgiveness, just basic. If I spilled milk, if I accidentally, I don't know, used your toothbrush, just simple everyday life stuff that you're like, I'm
and
sorry,
and
forgive them.
this is where the fan base comes out for big idea
Yes,
is is they make good content
yes,
that connects from the youngest of kid to the oldest of adult,
yes,
and
absolutely.
it touches you in some way, shape, or
Oh
form
my goodness,
because they
yes.
understood that parents would probably watch this with their kids or be
Yes,
forced to watch it with their kids.
yes,
And there's enough comedic sense in there to entertain adults.
yes,
And where this episode will fall extremely flat due to its first showrunner of the
yeah,
Grapes of Wrath. It's on the cover. It's advertised. You see, they
yeah,
show the beginning scene of the Grapes of Wrath song and all that. So they were more proud of this front runner show. And if you're into, CDs and stuff, sometimes, not always, the number one song that names the whole album
yes,
is the best song on the CD.
absolutely,
So I
yes,
would so I would say that this
yes.
one,
Oh
even though
man,
the CD is called Grapes of Wrath,
yes.
you got to go to number 2 on the CD,
And get the better
and
song,
get the
yeah.
better
I agree,
song.
because
So,
definitely Larry's Lagoon, I highly recommend, highly encourage. Watch Larry Lagoon, go look up Gilligan's Island. It is great.
yeah,
And it was someone that, which Phil Vischer, Mike Naraki wrote this one. You can tell they were fans. They knew the
yes,
show by heart because there was definitely throughout the whole thing from Bob calling Larry little buddy,
little
which
buddy,
if you
yeah,
know that from watching the show, I've watched all 3 seasons. I love Gilligan's Island. I just laughed so hard at some of the winks, the design of where their little huts, everything looked just like the show, just in 3D animation. I would honestly say it is on the nose. It's written so well. You get a great little cute song at the end, sung by a palm tree.
yeah,
Yes, folks, I did say it's not a vegetable.
with a Jamaican voice that we never hear really again.
He never comes again.
Either that or he hit his voice really well because, like, what I mean, I don't even think they have a name for him, right?
Well, no, this is the first episode where trees had faces and walked around and
Yeah,
sang and danced, and then it was kind of like, and then it was kind of like you get into the next episode, which is "Are You My Neighbor?" And it's like, no, we just do vegetables, and you're
no,
like, thank you.
thank
What was
you.
with the tree? What's with the tree thing?
Was with the tree
The
running
trees.
away, and then the
They figured
tree's
it out.
like,
That's just too much, because then
yeah,
the rocks will have to start, swaying a little bit, and the
would I mean, if you were put in that scenario, would you start running?
if a tree
If a talking
starts
tree starts coming down the beach towards you,
I mean, I definitely would start slowly, like, stepping backwards and saying, "What? Who are you?" Like, "Are you wait," and then
haunted island, head to the ocean, it can't follow you.
all I could do is float. I
So
can't. I was like, "Oh my gosh, that was very random." I mean, if you say
it's
there's the
just like the
beginning,
way they
the
look
middle, and
at
then, like, a
him.
twist, That
Yeah.
was like that twist moment. You're like, what's with the palm
Yeah, and the
tree?
way he's like, "You mind if I sing?" And it's like they're like, "No." It's like this really drawn out, like even they're kind of like, "Okay."
Like, I mean, sure, we'll take a song. We're kind of
So,
bored.
yeah, we're
We're
kind of
we're
bored.
stranded on this
And
island.
then a helicopter comes out of nowhere, you know?
I love that because it's like the professor made all these amazing feats on the island in
Yeah.
Gilligan's Island, but of course, naturally, you can only do so much with bamboo and coconuts and
Yes.
the resources on the island. But what if you did just by chance be able to turn coconut, I guess, into fuel,
Yeah.
and find a way to hover off across the ocean? It
It
was
was
great.
amazing. Yep.
It was. I mean, and that's how it ended.
Yeah.
While the palm tree's just singing this cute little song about forgiving and to just drill it home if you weren't hit on the head
Yeah.
about saying, I'm sorry, and then saying, I forgive you throughout the whole darn thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it was drilled at you at the end with the song. Then
Yep.
you get another scripture.
Yes.
It was almost like they took two episodes. They didn't have a full episode
Yeah.
and they put them together cuz both halves had their own separate scripture. That's
Yes.
so rare, folks. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
VeggieTales only has one scripture for that one topic because they know, like you said, you're going to probably be with your parents watching it. You're probably going to go to Sunday school. You can ask, for about more on the topic.
Yes.
But yeah, this one was interesting with two scriptures and no silly song
Yeah.
and just forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness.
And always where VeggieTales always lived and died on the hill of a question.
Yes.
And sometimes it needed more context on
Mhm.
what the question was or what
Mhm.
it meant because sometimes a question needs more explanation.
Yeah, especially for a child.
So
Yeah.
so sometimes I think including this episode in particular we will run into more of them as we continue on
Yeah. Yeah.
is sometimes the questions that they ask even themselves on how to portray the question biblically,
Yes.
you might have the scripture that is a one for one what you do in that says situation,
Well said.
but their execution of the show itself to bring
Yes.
that point across a
Yes.
lot of times could fall flat
It
if
could.
you're not careful. And the reason why we're still talking about them so many years afterwards is they did it
Yes.
more than
Yes.
not.
Yes.
And
The good far outweighs the bad with VeggieTales
exactly.
for sure.
So, and the reason I'm saying this is this one, not so much on the Grapes of Wrath, and the
I
whole
agree.
theme of the show
Yeah, the whole
was
flow is just clunky,
so thankfully
unfortunately.
they didn't stay on this route.
Yes,
They picked themselves up, they took the good from it,
they did.
and they just pushed forward. And look at the empire they've made up to this
Oh my
day
goodness.
of videos,
Yes.
movies,
Yes.
t-shirts,
Yes.
I mean,
Yes. Well, even
memorabilia.
it's night and day when you watch Are You My Neighbor?
Yes,
It's like their normal format. You get
it
a silly
is.
song, you get a biblical story, you get an IP story,
Yeah,
you get a flow from start to finish. And I this one was interesting. It felt like lost episodes made into a special.
yes,
When they used to have that where the episodes that didn't air,
yes,
would they would then release them and call them like lost episodes like years later, like, oh yeah, we forgot these never aired.
yeah,
This one felt like that because they took the little sketch in the middle of the Forgive-O-Matic, and then before that, the Grapes of Wrath, and then after that, this little Gilligan play story on
yeah.
the nose, literally.
Yeah, and these are so
Yeah.
hard to review compared to all the other ones are so easy because it's
Yes.
so much of the normal format that we're used to
This
as
one was odd.
VeggieTales fans. and they've
Yes.
had a few ups and downs here or there,
Yeah.
but the mistake would either come through the silly song or something here or there. But this one as a whole just seemed like a bunch of ideas that never really had enough time
Mm.
to soak
Mhm.
and evolve and create enough time, you
Exactly. Like
know?
there was so much more meat on the bone for to do the Gilligan and stretch the Gilligan out,
Yes,
because no one could relate or really connect with the Grapes of Wrath.
exactly.
So I felt like, Gilligan's timeless. You can watch it now. Where Grapes of Wrath is going to be locked in because it was written and set in the time of the Great Depression. It's going to be in that time frame. So the
Yeah,
characters that Junior interacts with are characters that are, I mean, they're not going to be relatable or enduring, and they were almost set up to be villain like, to
yeah,
be laughed at or looked down upon because they needed to learn to forgive and Junior needed to learn to forgive them. And I don't know if that came across well. I don't think kids would get that. It almost was don't judge people, not forgive them for the grapes of wrath
yeah,
versus,
yeah.
I mean,
I
that was a
mean,
tough choice on their
yeah,
part.
I mean the easy fix to this, I know it happened in 994, but we got our fan fiction
All right,
either
go
way.
go for it. Let's talk
Um
about that for a minute.
it could have easily been done with just a friend coming over to the house to play with something.
Oh, that would have been so
I
much
mean,
better. Yeah.
it would have been half the time, or you could use the full time, but have him go through that same self injury by accident, and the friend just laugh at him,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the dad explain to the kid and to his son how to
Yeah.
forgive, and
Yeah.
and and I think it would have been a deeper dynamic to be
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
what if Junior did something to
Yes.
offend his friend,
That would have been so much
and then
better.
vice versa.
Yes.
And I think I think it crossed their table, but
Yes.
I think they didn't want to go that simple, and I applaud them for wanting to go more above just
Mhm.
a single room
Yeah.
singing
Yeah.
one song, and just vegetables just hopping up and down while mouths move.
Yeah,
They
because if you think about it, the "Where's God When I'm Scared," that first chunk, most of it's all music, actually. If you think
exactly.
about it, you get Daniel the musical is the second half. In the
Yeah.
first half, you literally just get "God's Bigger Than the Boogeyman" song.
Yeah.
That's sung most of the time. So this, yeah, doesn't have much music
Yeah.
compared to what you just bought on VHS and had been rewatching till
Yeah.
their next release in, 94.
But yeah, that's my only fan
That's a good
fiction.
fan fiction. I agree.
I feel like if I would have changed that, I know it would have been simple.
Yeah. I think then you could have extended the Gilligan out a little bit cuz VeggieTales has done those little shorts, like shorter opening. Like there's one where Junior learns about standing up to a bully on the
Yes.
playground, really short little
Yes,
sketch,
and the
and that's
same.
all you really needed.
Yeah, and the same one where he thought it was his birthday,
That one,
and
yeah.
he went through
Yeah.
his birthday and all that. Once again, not short, but it was still long enough to get
Exactly.
the vibe
Yeah, it would have been
in.
maybe around the same time, maybe a little less, and then you
Yeah,
could have done, a little more on the Gilligan. That would have been more relatable, and kids could have laughed and had a little more, draw it out a little more, and just enjoy that
yeah.
island vibe because it looked great. They did better animating the jungle, unfortunately, with their technology
Palm
limited.
trees,
Yeah, their
yeah.
limited technology. It looked better with bamboo.
Yes.
Looked way better than the rolling hills with the grapes of wrath, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So to me, know your strengths and weaknesses. Step back like many animators and just go, you know what? let's let's lean more on this story because
Yeah.
I liked it because Junior's house was fine when they did the scary, him being scared. You could have set that whole living room back up, and it could have just like you said had a friend over, and he had to learn to forgive, and Junior had to learn to forgive. That would have been a good a
Exactly.
5-year-old
Yeah.
kinda level. That would have been a good that's a good fan
Yeah,
fiction.
so that was
I
my
like
only way
that.
to fix it.
I
Once
like that.
again, anticlimactic. You
Yes.
don't get the Jeep, you don't get the family, you don't get the, you know,
Yeah,
the
Paul Grape could have just showed up later.
as
He
the dad
Yeah,
or
cause
granddad or
he shows up
whatever.
in Dave and the Giant Pickle, he's a pirate who doesn't do anything,
Yeah,
he really,
he's a
joins the
good
cast. He
voice.
just joins the cast, like,
Yeah,
all the veggies just start showing up from Jimmy Gore to Jerry Gore to, you know, many characters just start popping up, and they
yeah,
don't really need an origin story. So, yeah, I mean, the only good thing I can pull from this one is you get the origins of Paul Grape, you get his name, you get him coming in and being established, and the voice actor establishing his character. That then they use him in multiple VeggieTales all
yeah,
the way through. He makes the theme song, opening credits.
yeah.
You
I'm
get a great little satire of Gilligan's Island. If you're a fan and you know the IP, you'll love the Little Larry's Lagoon
yeah.
and all the winks and the hints and the characters. And yeah, you get to
One of the only
see.
times we actually see him paired with a wife or spouse, actually.
Oh,
He's
Archibald
very
Asparagus. Yes,
um
yes,
Paul Grape.
that's right. Paul Grape does
He's
get.
normally very independent.
Yes, he is
He
very
does his own
independent.
thing.
He does. He
So,
does. Yeah, it's very limited to, once again, they single out these characters, put them in the box they need them to be, whether he needs to
exactly.
play a dad or a pirate
It's
or,
great.
whatever. Yeah, VeggieTales is great,
It's
man.
great.
It's great. They just adapt all these characters they pull and they piece together these beautiful little satires. And yes, is this one the black sheep of the family? Is this one the weakest one out of the original trilogy? Yes. Is this my least favorite? Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't run to this one, and rewatching it with you, I realized, yeah, I won't be coming back to this one anytime soon. But watch it for Larry's Lagoon. If nothing
Yes.
else,
Yes.
Larry's Lagoon,
And we
folks.
still
So cute.
haven't I mean, we still got a long way to go before we get to like the real newer stuff, so
Oh my
there might
goodness.
there I'm holding out my worst episode right now. Larry's Lagoon saves it a lot,
It does
but
save the
I
whole tape as a
but
whole.
I mean the Christian community has not like it still surprises me to this day what they'll release. So I'm still
Yes.
holding out my
Yes.
number one until I
Yes.
all
Yes.
see it all in fruition
Yes,
because
that
I'm
sounds
going through
like
my
fun.
childhood right now,
Yes.
and when I mature to what some of the kids that were younger than me grew up watching
Yes, that next wave of VeggieTales. Yeah.
with the bigger eyes and stuff,
The
that's going to be
reanimation.
very
Yeah.
interesting
That
to
is.
see.
I'm looking
So
forward to that because that turned me off from watching it, and I'm looking forward to watching it
I agree.
now.
I agree.
Because yeah, yeah, this one my least favorite right now out of the original trilogy.
Yeah.
But the Larry's Lagoon was precious, and as a fan of Gilligan's Island, I loved every second of it
Yeah.
and was chuckling and smiling. Um, but yeah, I had to look up the Grapes of Wrath because I had no idea. So
Yeah.
at least I learned what that was, folks. So it's still you still get educated
Yep.
in
And so did
VeggieTales.
everyone else who watched it.
It either encouraged them to go to their local library and figure that out, or
They
ask their
probably
teacher or
did.
mom,
Yes.
or they just like us, it just
Yeah.
went right over the head. We didn't
So,
even care.
but you got to hit a few rough patches on your way to stardom as they did.
Absolutely. And who
So,
knows? There might be people out there who think this is a great episode.
they just might.
Let us know in the comments below if you agree, or if go watch it. We encourage you to do so, and leave us a comment down below if you liked it or didn't like it, or if you agree or
Yeah.
disagree with our thoughts, because these are so much fun. I'm
They're
having
great.
so much fun
Yeah.
to watch all of these and just reliving
Yeah.
the nostalgia of sitting in our church basement
Hmm.
and watching these tapes, and then watching them now and having a different perspective from them, and it's just so much fun.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's great.
It's
I
just
mean, I can't
good.
wait to work myself, work my way up, and take that knowledge and take that nostalgia with me as I go into this new wave of shows that
Absolutely.
will
Yeah.
come out here in the next few years.
I
So,
couldn't agree with you more.
but yeah, and with that, we are done with this episode. Hopefully, you all enjoyed the black sheep of VeggieTales. Hopefully, you enjoyed it. And yeah, we're glad you listen all the way through. Thanks so much. And as always, stay nostalgic, Christians. Hey everyone, we hope you liked today's episode.
Please like and subscribe. Oh, and don't forget to comment down below because we'd love to hear from you.
Thanks so much for watching us.
Yeah, and so until next time,
Bye.
bye.